to talk about a different opportunity. I want to talk about something that's in the space that has been the talk du jour. Everybody's been talking about cloud computing, AI, and where some opportunities can exist. I like companies that do business to business marketing and products, and they sell their products to business. It's very hard sometimes because we as consumers can be fickle and we as investors can be fickle when it comes to companies that are forward facing, that sell products to individual consumers, because we tend to feel that first, right? Your enterprise customers, they're going to make long-term investments in products. They're going to purchase products for the long haul over the next couple of years, over the next decade. When we talk about the consumer, the individual consumer, well, I'm going to buy a product, and if I don't want to buy an Apple phone this upgrade cycle because money's a little bit tight, I'm in an inflationary environment where I'm not getting the raises at work that I wanted, then you kind of skip that upgrade cycle, and then you go to the next upgrade cycle. I know many people that, for Apple specifically, they've kind of started to skip upgrade cycles. They're not upgrading every single upgrade cycle. They're waiting 2, 3, sometimes 4 upgrade cycles now to really go back in and upgrade their Apple products. So Apple maintains its loyalty with their consumers, but it's on a longer term basis in terms of like time between upgrades has been longer and longer. But the equity I want to talk about, the opportunity, or something to stay away from, depending on how you look at it, is Oracle. And Oracle is one of those companies that presents a compelling investment opportunity. It's supported by, like, it does a lot of stuff with cloud services, AI infrastructure, and it's doing so at a competitive valuation. So, as I like to do, I like to get into the charts first, and we'll pull this up, and we're looking here. Oracle's trading near all-time highs, as is everything else in this space, kind of trying to regain its balance. One of the things I like about Oracle over a longer period of time, and I'll zoom this out a little bit because specific pricing isn't necessarily what I'm trying to highlight here, but what I am highlighting is since the end of 2022, in and around here, we have seen the 50 period moving average move above the 200 period moving average and generally hold that ascent all the way up. And we've seen consistency even when it dips back down. If you were in down here when it crossed over and you just maintained your position, maybe you piece some out as you go up, wait for a dip, wait for a double bottom to form, wait for this crossover to kind of happen again, like, you've been able to ride this momentum to the upside for a little bit over 12 months. And you've seen these tops here in and around this 127 level. We just fell that 2 days ago, but we're felling it off of higher highs on the daily, and we're still maintaining above the 50 period moving average. And then we'll zoom in a little bit, and again, here's the last trading session. 50 period moving average gets tagged. It closes above the 50 period moving average. It wants to hold above the 50 period moving average. So even though it's just kind of like this pullback here is off of kind of a lower high, we didn't quite get up to that 132 level. There was a key level in and around that 127. So if we hold above 122 and we can breach this 127 level, I see potential going up into, at least in the short term, into this 130, 132 level, and then continuing to push up. So I like the price of, I think I would love for it to be cheaper and for this to be the opportunity of a lifetime, and for me to be able to back up the Brinks truck, and load up on this and then retire tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're not in that market, right? How much have we been griping about these tech stocks being so doggone expensive? We can't believe that they're so doggone expensive. And what do these tech stocks keep doing? By and large, they just keep going higher and higher, right? We have these little pullbacks here and there, but we're not getting anything at the discounts that we really want, because everybody seems to be really aggressively getting into these. to try and extract as much momentum out of these before the market's like a game of musical chairs, right? And so they're trying to get in this and ride this momentum up before the music stops, and everybody has to find a seat and make sure that they're secure in their positions. But I like Oracle because of its structure. Again, one of the things I highlighted is the fact that they have cloud and AI infrastructure, their cloud service and license support, which accounted for 82% of its $49.9 billion revenue in fiscal year 2023, is like it's they're in the right space. They have the right customers. It's one of those things to me that is key in terms of like where are you positioning yourself in terms of where you're at. Let me bring up the slides so I don't actually. There we go. Okay, talking points. So again, focus on enterprise level clients versus individual customers is a really big thing to me. It's in the right space again. The company's revenue grew by 8.73% in that same fiscal year to $54.32 billion, with further growth projected over the next year. So they like from their investor relations from their last earnings call, they're continuing to see that demand is going to really continue. Their recent Q3 2024 earnings showed a significant 12% year-over-year growth in its cloud services. And then again, large infrastructure contracts. This momentum is expected to continue because I don't believe that the AI market is completely saturated yet. We're still building out customers. We're still building out what that AI infrastructure, that AI superhighway, the interstate system that is AI. We're still building it out. We really don't know all of the capabilities that it has, that AI has to offer. There's a lot of hypothesizing. At the end of the day, I see AI as one of those production increasing mechanisms that allow businesses to be a bit more efficient. I don't see it as the iRobot, I'm taking your job thing. Sure, there's some scary things out there on the internet. I just don't think that we're there yet. And I believe that if we start broaching into really weird things like that, where it's really sci-fi-ish and the robots are coming for our jobs, I think governments are going to step in and say, not so fast. You're either going to pay, you're going to pay us tax one way or the other. You have to keep workers employed. It's just the way the economy works. If you don't have any employees, you have nobody to sell to. So there is a kind of balance in these things. But at the end of the day, we haven't filled out that infrastructure yet. Oracle is poised to benefit from that by being one of the purveyors in that space. What do the analysts think? What do people that are smarter than I thinking about the stock? So according to MarketBeat, Wall Street analysts maintain a positive outlook on Oracle. 14 out of 24 analysts are rating it a buy with a consensus target again of 130.76. I looked at the chart and said 132. So realistically, if you were to swing trade this thing, they're saying that there's probably about a 6%, 6 to 7% left in the stock in terms of gains. So there's not a lot of juice left as the chart sits now. However, there are targets as high as $155 and even $160. And so, if you really think that this is going to continue, and you're seeing it hold the 50-day moving average and you're kind of a swing trader, this is probably one of those things that, at the current price, I'm not buying it as a long-term investment just because it's really expensive. But as a swing trade, I'd be interested in participating just based off the technicals on the chart. That's one of those things that I'm looking at and saying, okay, I divvy up the opportunities in that. So it's that tier of opportunity for me. One of the things that I like about Oracle is that they're so confident in their product that they're saying, you know what, they announced a strategic partnership with Microsoft where they're going to license their products for use on, even though they have their own cloud computing platform, they said, you know what, if you want to use us on Microsoft's cloud computing platform, feel free, go ahead. And so it's really trying to position itself as somebody, as a company who's trying to find big players to partner with, even though they're competitors, right? And I like that. That's a different approach that what Apple takes. Apple tends to take the like, let me just shield all the competition out of my marketplace and create a infrastructure that's devoted and that continues to turn money for me. That has worked for Apple, of course. But when my technology plays nice with each other, if I want an Apple phone and a Windows computer, I want them to play nice with each other, make my life easier. I don't want a Windows phone and I don't want an Apple computer in terms of like what I like to do with my computing. I like the things that I like. Oracle kind of hears that message in a way and says, we're going to look to partner with companies that are giants in the industry to ensure that our products are available to their customers as well. So I see them doing things like that. And I'm like, okay, I really like the idea that, yeah, they're willing to participate in that. So again, enterprise consumer, participant in a key growth industry, and strategic partnerships with major players in the game. What are some risks in this? So there is stiff competition out there. Microsoft, Amazon, SAP, Apple's getting into the game a little bit. You have all these companies out there with talking about cloud computing and talking about their products and trying to bring people into their ecosystem because they see this enterprise consumer, they see this recurring revenue. Like if I'm a cloud computing consumer and I go to a company, once I set up that infrastructure, I'm not going to move it from place to place. It's not like I'm going to shop it from Amazon to Microsoft next year to this place next year. Once I find a company I like, I'm going to stick with that company. They're going to offer, they're going to offer me that security. They're going to offer me that consistency in my business. It could be a really big interruption if I'm running a corporation and I say, oh, I'm moving the back end stuff from here to here to here to here. That could be frustrating for your workforce. That could be frustrating for your infrastructure. That could be that could put all of your stuff at risk if you're moving it from place to place. And so once you get those customers, they tend to stick with you for a very, very long time. Again, I really like their partnership with Microsoft in that aspect where they like, even if I can't sell you on all of my business, I can sell you on components of my business and I'm going to let you use them wherever you want to use them. So for that reason, I really like Oracle as a more of a swing trade idea. And if it establishes a base and consolidation and continues to move to the upside, then I like it as a long-term buy. So kind of buying it for now, really buying it if we have some consolidation.
Amen. One thing I adore about Oracle is exactly what you said about the enterprise business, the fact that they're not selling to individuals, they're selling to fat cats. We're selling only to the big boys here. And like you said, the difficulty of the setup and potential removal if you have to switch from an Oracle product to another product, it is absolutely insane. I've done a lot of work in cloud computing in terms of setting up things for small companies, just setting up a simple CRM, a very simple component of many of the offerings that Oracle has. It could take months to appropriately make sure that all the users have a feel for what they're doing, not mastery, but a feel for what they're doing. It could take years for processes to be put in place to make sure that everyone is using the system appropriately. And for companies that have thousands of employees, it is so counterintuitive for them to say, we're going to set all this up, spend millions of dollars to get everything run, hire people just to run it, and then say, yeah, we're going to switch to something else. It never happens. Oracle's a fantastic company. I've owned them for forever. Just one last thing about Oracle. Their CEO, Safra Cruz, is someone who, not Safra, that's Safra Cruz, Safra Katz. She is an absolutely brilliant CEO, Wharton grad, who actually was a part of the executive management team as they led Oracle through the dot-com bubble. So I love the fact that they've been there, done that. They've seen different market upticks and downticks, and they've been able to not only do well, not only not able to survive, but they've been able to absolutely flourish.